Bathroom extractor fan wiring. There's a lot of confusion around this. Hopefully in this video it's going to clear it up. But when we used to wire extractor fans, there used to be a 3-pole isolator which will isolate the fan. That's all we wanted it to do. But now we've got a fuse. And some people are saying you only wire the live going to a timer fan because the switch live carries no voltage. It's just a signal wire. It does carry a voltage, it carries 240, but there's no load on it, apparently. This is what people are saying. I don't really believe that to say, but yeah, I think it carries a voltage because the fan will obviously pull a certain amount of amps. We can prove that, mind you. But for this video, I'm going to run through how you'll conventionally find it wired in people's houses, where the live and neutral will come into a light and the live and neutral go out to the light with the switch live drop down to the light switch, basically, whether it's a pull cord or a light switch, it will be one or the other. So I'm going to go through how it's wired and how it works, how to wire up the fan isolator from the actual light switch or light, and then how it makes it all work with a timer fan and a permanent supply. So let's have a look. But just quickly as well, I can see where the confusion is coming from, because my idea of having a fan isolator is to isolate the fan. It's to purely isolate the fan. If you don't need the fan on, you can turn it off. But on the drawing of the fan, the manufacturer's instructions, they've basically got a switch pole fuse, a double pole fuse, or a switch fuse spur with a 3-amp fuse in, which also, if you switch that off, that isolates the live to the lights. So there's no way you can have the lights on and the fan off. Stupid in my eyes. Right, so what we're starting with is always going to be the same. You're going to have the live, the switch live, and the neutral coming from the isolator going up to the fan. And the whole purpose of the isolator is to isolate the fan. So this is how you'll more likely see it wired a lot in houses these days, which you've got the live, neutral and earth coming in. This is your main live, neutral and earth. It will come in to the light switch, which it might be a ceiling rose, a ceiling batten, more likely in a bathroom, or downlights, it depends. But there'll be a junction somewhere. This is how it could happen. You'll have that live and neutral coming in, and then you'll have a switch live going down to the light. So let's get this. So you just have, more likely there'll be 2 browns, because that'll be your permanent live and your switch live going down to the light switch. And because this is a switch live, we want to put a bit of sleeving on. There we go, because these are 2 lives. There we go, 2 lives down to there. And then the only way you're going to pick up a permanent live, a switch live and a neutral is basically from here. So we're going to have to get another 3-core, this, and we'll go from either a junction box or the ceiling rose. What you'll see in a lot of houses, let's take this up a bit to get it in, is people have pummeled it in. Pummeled the 3-core into a light switch, where that's where they've picked up the live, neutral and earth to the fan. So the fan will go into there. So then we'll work back again. You've got your neutral, your switch live, which is the brown, and then your black, which is a permanent live. So we're going to ignore that fuse for a minute, because more likely you won't see that in a lot of older houses that are wired like this. So I'm just going to put the live in there, like so. I'm going to get a bigger screwdriver, because that one's far too small. And then your switch live into L2, in there, and then your neutral into there. And then if it's in a metal back box, then you'll join the earths in the back of the metal back box. But if it's plastic, you'll stick it inside a Wago, just like that. It'll sit inside there. This will have the live, permanent live, switch live and neutral coming in, and then it'll be switched because it'll isolate it to the fan, so you can have a fan off with the lights on. So then from there, we'll also want to do the switch. The switch can just go into a Wago, but again, if it's a plastic back box, you'll put it in a Wago. But if it's a metal back box, you'll put it in the metal back box. So the brown, which will be the permanent live, in this one, this is where it can get confusing, because you've got the permanent live brown into there, and then the switch live will go into L1. So this is basically your switch in there, and this is the bit that confuses people. Well, let's get this light switch out for a minute. I've just put this light on, so it got the light, so when we turn it on we can see it actually working. But let's get this light out of the way, and then what we'll do, because this is the live coming in from the board, so then what we want to do is terminate them into that sugar, into that, so then the earth, oh mate, is basically getting continuity all the way along. I'm just going to do that one there, it's got plenty on it. There, that one can go in there, and that one will go in there. And then we want to go into this ceiling rose, which this can be a ceiling rose, a junction box, anything like that. These are obviously too big, so what we're going to do, we're going to cut them down like so. There we go. We'll just terminate these off. And as you can see, in these 3-core cable, we have got a black, a grey and a brown, which I'm going to use brown as the switch wire. So what we want is a switch wire to go into the switch to the light, so this will bring the light on. So basically we're giving that switch wire, we're putting it down to the switch, so that's the switch wire coming up. That's going to be where the permanent live is going to be sending up a switch wire for the light to come on, and then also the switch wire for the fan to come on in there. And then the black, what we want, let's loosen this off. This is classed as like a, say, a junction box in a way, this ceiling rose, but you can see that, you'll see this a lot inside of houses where people have jammed all these cables in, and as you can tell, it would be 10 times better in some sort of junction box, or basically wired differently, let's be honest. So then the permanent live, which we want to go to the middle of the ceiling rose, and mainly in the ceiling rose, this terminal in the middle is always permanent lives. So then we want the permanent live, which will be the brown to the switch as well, so that will continuously be live coming in from the fuse board with this one as well. So this is your permanent live into there, like so. And then your neutrals will go over here. This is why it's got 3 terminals, because it's got your in and your out, but we're just using one for a fan here. So that is your neutral to the fan, and that is your neutral, which I say coming in because it's coming in from the fuse board, but it's also going to be giving the lighting circuit its neutral. So there we go, we're going to give that a neutral, and then this is a switch live that basically brings the light on. Put that in there as well. Oh, sugar. And then for your lighting circuit, we want the earth as well. Really, this should be longer, but there we go. Let's get that in there. So then basically it's got a live, earth and neutral, but a switch live. So that is how you'll more likely see it. Obviously not with a downlight hanging off, but like a ceiling batten or something like that. So this is all wired and how it should work. So let's plug it in and I'll show you exactly how it comes on. Right, so this is your bathroom switch. You'll switch the light on and the light does come on. So that's fine, the light comes on. You can have the light on with the fan being off. But then now, if you switch the fan on, that fan should come on when you turn the light on. There we go, the fan's coming on. But like I say, some people don't want that fan on all the time. So you can be able to isolate it with a fan isolator. But the way it should work is with the light on. Oh, the fan's off. The way it should work, so you turn the light on with the fan on, so it's clearing the steam and the air. You turn the light off, and this fan should overrun for around a minute. There we go, the fan's gone off. And if it doesn't go off, you've normally got one of these the wrong way around, the switch live or the permanent live, which I've got the right around there, permanent live and switch live. Well, we know it's the right around because it went off. So then this is how you'll see it wired a lot. I've seen this no end of times where people have got a lighting circuit in their bathroom, but they just want a fan put in. And if you do go to put a fan in, you're more likely going to find a ceiling rose or a ceiling batten that's wired like that, and that's how you get your supply to the extractor fan, a time supply, to be honest, because you want a time supply for a timer fan, because people don't want to leave the fan on constantly. They want it to be a timer because you can set them from like 1 minute to 45 minutes to clear the steam so then mold doesn't build up, because that is becoming a massive problem. So then now the next video, because this is part 2 of a 3 series video on extractor fans for bathrooms, we're going to wire it basically how the manufacturer's instructions say, and we'll see if that's a convenient way. So see you on the next video.